Hi everyone, my name is Janmij and this is day 31st of my communication practice. And during these 30 days, I was reading this book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl, and where we got to know about the author's experience in the concentration camp in Nazi Germany. And once the author was released, he pre-published his theories who he developed before his incarceration, which were logotherapy. And in the part B of the book, the author is talking about his logotherapy and how it is different from psychotherapy and psychoanalysis. And here, during these days, I got to know a lot of things, and it unfolds like in a few pages of the concentration camp experience. And the author did a very good job in setting up the context so that the person who is reading it will be better equipped to understand what he's telling about the meaning of life at the later stages of the book. And we talked about the neurosis, what is existential vacuum, and then author talks about new dynamics and neurosis, right? And also about existential frustration. And he talks about how 70% of the people in America who take this test actually suffer from existential frustration and existential vacuum. And this is the same case with European folks, but the percentage is lower, like it's close to 30%. And I'm sure if this take were to took place in India, especially in the metro cities, and the people who work in the corporates, the percentage would be close to 80% or so. And why? Because after we are done with the work, we are at weekends where we don't know what to do. We don't look forward for life. It's just the work that is driving us, and we are getting money, we are getting paid, we are working, and we don't have anything to look forward to. And that creates a vacuum in life. That creates the existential frustration. And this vacuum basically is filled by the parties, the alcohol, the smoking we see nowadays in these days. And you now will start reading this, the meaning of life, and I used it with, I completed a lot of videos there. But let's see, like I'll try to complete this. So this is a great feat for me as well. I'll just start reading now. I doubt whether a doctor can answer this question in general terms, for the meaning of life differs from man to man, from day to day, and from hour to hour. What matters, therefore, is not the meaning of life in general, but rather the specific meaning of person's life at a given moment. To put the question in general terms would be comparable to the question posed to a chess champion. Tell me, master, what is the best move in the world? There simply is no such thing as the best or even a good move apart from a particular situation in a game and a particular personality of one's opponent. The same holds for human existence. One should not search for an abstract meaning of life. One should not search for an, an abstract meaning of life. Everyone has a own specific vocation or mission in life to carry out a concrete assignment which demands fulfillment. Therein, he cannot be replaced, or can his life be repeated. Thus, anyone's task is and unique as his specific opportunity to implement it. As each situation in life represents a challenge to man and presents a problem for him to solve, the question of the meaning of life may actually be reversed. Ultimately, man should not ask what the meaning of life is, but rather he must recognize that it is he who is asked. In a word, each man is questioned by life, and only he can answer to life by answering for his own life. To life, he can only respond by being responsible. Thus, logotherapy sees in responsibleness the very essence of human existence. Now we talked about the essence of human existence. This emphasis on responsibleness is reflected in the categorical imperative of logotherapy, which is live as if you were already for the second time. You were living for the already for the second time, and you have lived your first life. And as if You had acted the first time as wrongly as you are about to act now. It seems to me that there is nothing which would stimulate a man's sense of responsibleness more than his more than this maxim, which invites him to imagine first that the present is past, and second, that the past may yet be changed and amended. Such a precept confronts him with life's finiteness as well as the finality of what he makes out of both his life and himself. Logotherapy tries to make the patient fully aware of his own responsibleness. Therefore, it must leave to him the option for what, or to whom he understands himself to be responsible. That is why a logotherapist is the least attempted of all psychotherapists to impose value judgments on his patients, for he will never permit the patient to pass to the doctor to the responsibility of judging. It is therefore up to the patient to decide whether he should interpret his life task as being responsible to society or to his own conscience. There are people, however, who do not interpret their own lives merely in terms of tasks assigned to them, but also in terms of the taskmaster who has assigned to them. Logotherapy is neither teaching or nor preaching. It is far removed from logical reasoning as it is from moral extortion. To put it figuratively, the role played by a logotherapist is that of a eye specialist rather than that of a painter. A painter tries to convey to us picture of the world as he sees it. An ophthalmologist tries to enable us to see the world as it really is. The logotherapist's role consists of widening and broadening the visual field of the patient so that the whole spectrum of the potential meaning becomes conscious and visible to them. By declaring that man is responsible and must actualize the potential meaning of his life, I wish to stress that the true meaning of life is to be discovered in the world rather than within the man and or his own psyche, as though it were a closed system. I have termed this constitutive characteristic the transcendence of human existence. It denotes the fact that being human always points and is directed to something or someone other than oneself, but be it meaning to fulfill or another human being to encounter. The more one forgets himself by giving himself to a cause to serve or another person to love, the more human he is and the more he actualizes himself. What is self actualization is not an attainable aim at all, for the simple reason that the more one would strive for it, the more he would miss it. In other words, self actualization is possible only as a side effect of self transcendence. Thus far, we have shown that the meaning of life always changes, but that it never ceases to be. According to logotherapy, we can discover this meaning in life in three different ways. First, by creating a work or doing a deed. Second, by experiencing something or encountering someone. Third, by the attitude we take toward unavoidable suffering. The first, the way of achievement or accomplishment, is quite obvious. The second and third need further elaboration. The second way of finding a meaning of life in life is by experiencing something, such as goodness, truth, and beauty, by experiencing nature and culture, or last but not the least, by experiencing another human being in very uniqueness by loving him. So, I think we have completed the essence of existence. Now, we'll talk about the meaning of love. Love is the only way to grasp another human being in the innermost core of his personality. No one can become fully aware of the very essence. No one can become fully aware of the very essence of another human being unless he loves him. By his love, he is enabled to see the existential, essential traits and features in the beloved person. And even more, he sees that which is potential in him, which is not yet actualized, but yet ought to be actualized. Furthermore, by his love, the loving person enables love beloved person to actualize his potentialities by making him aware of what he can be and what he should become. He makes these potentialities come true. In logotherapy, love is not interpreted as mere epiphenomenon, epiphenomenon of sexual drives and instincts in the sense of so-called sublimation. Love is as primary as phenomenon as sex. Normally, sex is the mode of expression of love. Sex is justified, even sanctified, as soon as but as long as it is a vehicle of love. Thus, love is not understood as a mere side effect of sex, but rather it is a way of expressing the experience of the ultimate togetherness, which is called love. The third way of finding a meaning of life is by suffering. So, here the author is connecting dots between different meanings of life, including, his connecting the dots. And if you read it as a whole, you will find a full circle, a full spectrum of psychotherapy. And here it consists of each human goal, each human sentiment, emotions, which constitutes the 360 psyche of every individual, and more or less by the virtue of it or the lack of it, a human changes itself. So I think this is one of the most important parts of the book, and I'll give it a try again. I'm not able to fully comprehend it, I'll confess that. But I'll read it again. I'll try to understand it. Probably it will require two or more reads to just understand and feel it and to completely comprehend what it means. So, this was day 31st of my communication practice, and I'll see you in the next video. That will be 32nd video. I'll try to complete this book in the next upcoming 10 videos or so, maybe 9 or 10. So I'll try to complete that, and then I'll switch to some other form of communication practice that might be using scripts, might be making some sort of course, some other set course, some other sort of action I'll take to just like keep communicating, keep making videos. So till then, bye for now, and thanks for watching my video.